Rays.
Let's do it.
Rays, baby. Let's get them.
Now we got the Rays. They got them at 89.5 for the season wins. Now the Rays. Now this is a team that made quite a few moves, and let's start with Gogi on this one because they made a big move from Japanese baseball with the I'm not sure how to pronounce this guy's name. The pitcher, his name is Yashimito Tatsumago.
Where is he, sir? I'm just looking him up here.
AL guy, he's not going to get much work, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing – I didn't see the stat on that. I wish I did. What's his name again? Try it one more time. I might know it.
Yashitomoto Tasasugo.
Tasasugo.
Came over from Japanese baseball, and he's in the mix over here.
I think he's Taiwan, right? I think he's from Taiwan.
I'm not sure.
I'll look him up.
But the key with the Rays right here is bullpen. So they got a nice bullpen. You know, once you get a nice, it seems as though through the past few years that the Rays are putting the pieces together slowly and slowly and slowly. So they're locked in the bullpen. They just made a bunch of moves to get their, starting pitcher thing going a little better. And all they got to do is bring them bats, and they're here to compete in this conference. They can get an easy wild card or something like that because everybody's heavy on the Yankees to win the conference, and it kind of looks so. If they're going to do the rebirth of the Yankees this year, then yeah, they got that part. But these Rays are going to give them a shot for their money. You know, they're kind of young out there. They, like I said, the pieces are coming together. They got proper coaching, so the pieces are lining up for the Rays this year.
The best, man. Cash is the best in MLB.
Yeah. This guy, though, guys, they added from Yokohama Bay Stars, Yoshitimo Tsugo. He's a heavy bat. I'm just looking here, guys. He had 29, 38, 28, 44 home runs in the last 4 years. He averages about over 100 RBIs a game. Yokohama was a heavy over team. This was a big boy in the league. This guy could definitely hit especially in Tampa Bay. This guy can hit a lot of home runs, even the ceiling. A lot of Japanese players tend to hit the ball really, really high. So this is a big bat. He's a big lad. That's a great addition.
What do you think of the Rays in general this year, Gokster?
In general this year, well, coming off last year, they were a team doing exactly what Boston couldn't do. They were closing teams out. They were playing more to unders. At home, they were lights out. Pitching staff, I'm just trying to I just had the roster up there, but their pitching staff, I know they were one of the weirdest teams in the league with how they brought in their bullpen guys for a couple innings. They're one of the weirdest teams in the league. Their team total at 89. That's pretty juicy. This Japanese guy is going to really, though, help their offense. I know I'm just saying from what he did in Japan, but I would expect this team to compete with the Yankees for a top spot. I don't think they're going to be there, but I think they'll be probably right around a 90-win team. Yeah.
I agree. That's a tight line. The thing is here, Zunino, right? Their catcher.
Yeah.
It has to be there. He has to be there because he has the system down that has been created there. That's the best pitching in the league, hands down. Top to bottom, it's the Rays. Willie Adames is a big bat that needs to have a consistency that we saw of last year continue, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Does this Japanese guy help? I don't know. Will it be the same? Will it be the same thing as last year? I really think so. Zunino is the guy who is, and we don't want to get into stats here, man. This is just a breakdown. But the guy who's going to create wins, WAR, right? Wins above a replacement player. Zunino needs to be that guy. He reworked his swing, and when guys are, of that age, 20, 29, 30, 31, you can't do that. I don't think that works. And we'll talk about this with the Yankees too. I think that this is a little bit of a, trickier situation than everybody thinks. The Zunino is the key bat for them to be in that excelling category. I think the Rays can compete with anybody if those bats do have consistency enough, right? It doesn't need to be elite, but it needs to be enough that managerial staff, top to bottom, the pitching top to bottom, the defense top to bottom in the infield is amazing. The bats are the problem. That 90 win total, 89.5, I would definitely go over that. I think they're live. I think they're live to win the division.
Yeah.
Give me them Rays. Give me them Rays. That's
so what do you think about them being a under team with the bullpen and the pitching like that? And the lines are going to be a little inflated when they're at home because of the ballpark, but it might be a good spot to slide the unders at home.
Absolutely, and I agree. We're going to see those at 7, right? At 8 at some point in the year.
Yeah.
Remember in the beginning of the year, things start off a little bit higher. That's why it's so difficult to kind of get a metric on how we're going to handicap the game. The odds are very skewed, and it's hard to interpret information based on the way they move, overnight if you're looking at things. That being said alone, the Rays on the road or at home, we have to see what happens with the bats. We know how good that pitching is. Blake Snell, right? Let's take this for example. Blake Snell, a guy who had a myriad of injuries last year, who was getting abused at some point, actually had a higher whiff rate, right? Guys absolutely missing the ball on his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He had bad luck, right? We have that in hockey. You know what I mean, Gokester? We have puck luck. We have batted ball luck. Also in baseball, and he was getting unlucky, and he was also had a mechanical problem. He was better last year, even though he got hit more, and the ERA is higher and the whip is higher and all this stuff. He was still better last year than he was in 2018 when he was an absolute star. Yeah. The Rays are live, man. If those bats can do a little more, I think this team is absolutely probably the best in division, up there with the Yankees. I mean, depending on what happens with the Yankees, we'll talk about that next. Yeah. But, man, like you're saying, DJ, I do think we need to look at how the bats are doing before we hop on like an under trend, because this team is going to trend a certain way. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got a final synopsis for this team, Gogi?
That just makes sense why they brought in this Japanese player from Yokohama. He's a big bat. He's a young kid. He's only 27. So it's different than kind of the Boston and Toronto where they're Boston, in the case, they don't have the pitching. Well, this team does have the pitching. What do you think their starting 4 or 5 is going to be, Parlay? What do you think it's going to look like?
It's going to be the same bullpen rotation. I mean, I think that Snell goes, Morton goes. Yeah. I think Glass now, remember he had that injury. We don't really know how great he is. I mean, his numbers have looked good forever. I don't know how he's going to do as a 5+ innings per game.
Yeah. After that, who do they have that can go 5 innings, really? Like Castillo, Kitteridge?
Castillo's going to be, I think, a closer. I think he's going to be an inning eater.
Sorry, Kitteridge, Yarborough, like some of these guys that just filled in a couple innings last year.
They have more pitching staff than most people do on the roster. Remember that. That's based on how they constructed that lineup, which is ingenious. The cash in that team is analytical phenom.
They're different than the rest of the league, that's for sure.
If those bats work, they work. The starting pitching, if one of them get fucked up, I'll tell you that much. This team, goodbye.
Yeah.
Maybe they make a trade midway through the
we got July. We got till July. Remember that trade deadline. Yeah. If somebody gets real hurt, like Snell, we saw when Snell got hurt, they started trending way over because they had like relievers opening, and then the other guys like going through innings. And you're like, what? This Rays versus Angels game is fucking 11-8. What the hell? Are we in Coors Field? No. You just had your closers come out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one of the things they talked about. Now that they got things more solid, they won't have to lean on that often. But let's jump over to this Yankee team.